Hello! It's the first time that I've put a video into my newsletter, but I thought it would be really useful just for you to see me, to meet me and say hi, because if you've been listening to me for some time, you've heard my words but not necessarily heard me speak. And I'm snuggled up in my cabin with my cat, so it feels like a perfect time to say hi and meet you. What I want to talk about today is the idea of strengths. My experience of when our daughter was really poorly was that we spent a lot of time focusing on the things that didn't work and the things that we would like to be different. And I was working with some parents a couple of weeks ago, and one of the parents was describing in great detail how they'd achieved something. So I can't remember the details of it, but she'd gone through a whole range of strategies to have something achieved. And it was a real feat. It was the kind of thing that before an eating disorder we'd have laughed at and gone, I can't believe you'd gone to those lengths to get whatever it was done. And what we all know in this situation is that we do change how we behave and we have to do things differently. And this mum had achieved what she set out to achieve, but had taken way more steps than it would have done previously. And I just really celebrated her. I pointed out to her, I said, you did that so well. She'd stepped back, she'd looked at what was required, she'd thought about what the key elements were, and she'd taken some steps. Then something didn't go quite to plan, so she'd put in some flexibility, she'd changed slightly, so she still achieved the outcomes she wanted. And what I know to be true is that when we do things, it's very easy to just take them for granted, particularly if we do them naturally. And in this conversation, I got to show her how so many skills she was bringing to the table in achieving this thing that she was achieving. It's really normal for us not to see the things that we are good at and not to see the things that we do well. And so when we stand back and notice we're still in the eating disorder, we're still playing this game, it's still going on, it's really difficult to see what's going right. And one of the things that I do is I direct parents back to, you're doing this really well and this is going well, and actually you do this with ease, let's do some more of that. And that kind of understanding about what's working well in your family, what you're doing well, means that you can build on your skills. The work I've been doing for my master's degree has really taught me that actually we're so much better when we come from a place of strength, that working on our weaknesses doesn't really help us. It doesn't help us as healthy adults, and it doesn't help our children who are already beating themselves up about their own inadequacies. The voice in their head is already being critical enough. And when we can start to notice and work from the things that we're good at, then life just becomes more easeful. Life is hard enough without us beating ourselves up. And when we start to notice the things we're good at, we can just be kinder to ourselves. I think in all my work, kindness and compassion are things that thread their way through in everything I share, everything I teach, in the spaces that I hold. So an invitation for you today is to stop and notice the things you're doing well. Stop and notice the things that your child is doing well. Build from your strengths, and always, always be kind and compassionate to yourself and everybody involved in this situation. I hope it's been a benefit, me popping in and speaking with you. And if you want to know more, if you want to chat, just send me a message. It's lovely to be with you today, sending you loads of love. I'm really confident that you are awesome. You're here looking for your next steps. That makes you a really awesome parent. You're stronger than you think. Sending lots of love.